Hello, everyone, and welcome to Holistic Love Radio, the official interview showcase and life empowerment podcast for Holistic Globe and the Holistic Leadership Society. I am your host, Numa Gaya, bringing you special interviews with the amazing featured guest experts that I am blessed to meet and connect with as we travel across the nation hosting our shows and in sponsoring relevant local fairs and networking gatherings, hoping to bring a piece of Holistic Love Expo free educational platform to the holistic enthusiasts and the seekers, the followers, and the supporters who are not able or available to travel to our main event in Florida. This podcast is our sacred cyberspace to mingle with like minded friends and to celebrate and share our interest for self empowerment, spirituality, sustainability, healthy living, and important social matters impacting our collective existence. Yes, it is my intent to bring you inspiration, education, and expert guidance as we discuss insightful topics with our guests who so kindly share their path, their news, events, and resources with us.
So today's topic is understanding energy, which is one of my favorite topics, and it's actually one of our fundamental classes in our metaphysical school in Santa Fe. And I believe it's very, very misunderstood. Living in the internet world, you actually Google the word energy, and all kinds of results will pop up. You will see energy, energy sources. They talk about solar energy, wind energy, nuclear, thermal, wave, tide, everything but the life force in our body, which navigates to our chakras, the spiritual energy, physical energy, mental energy, everything that's, part of our human existence. And today I have a wonderful guest that she is going to help us understand this chaotic topic. And her name is Kenya Starr from Kenya Starr Global, Kenya Starr Global, and she's an intuitive healer and a life coach, also a transformational speaker and a certified angel card reader. Her expertise is kind of like a holistic approach, covering life, businesses, relationships, career, and of course purpose. We're going to discuss not only the fundamentals of the energy, but hopefully we can get a better understanding and kind of like ease on the confusion. So welcome, Kenya.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I've been looking forward to this. I'm excited to be here.
Do you agree with me with this whole confusion? Have you ever Googled energy?
Yes, I have. Many times, in fact, and all kinds of things come up. And I find in my classes and stuff, if I ask, a group of students what they think energy is, the answers are just all over the place. And the level of awareness of energy is all over the place as well. So, and it's so fundamental to everything we do from a metaphysical perspective, and even just in our day-to-day routine, having an understanding and an awareness of energy and how to better navigate that can really improve all aspects of your life. I think it's very important.
I think that the first thing that we need to make clear is that we are energy. As we live this human life, we believe everything, that we can touch and feel, but everything is energy. Everything just vibrating in a very high frequency. We are energy. Everything that forms our body, our existence, our environment, everything is energy.
Absolutely. Yeah, and all beings, right? Trees and animals, like any sentient being of any kind is energy, and it all vibrates. So it is. Exactly. It's all around us, and we are it, right? So it's all of that.
Exactly. So how would you, as an expert, define energy?
Well, I find the best way to talk about esoteric terms like this is to give analogies. Sometimes those resonate better than trying to give definitions. So I always like to start with a common experience most of us have had. So, for example, if you've ever been late, and I know all of us are always on time, but if you've ever been late to an event or something where there's a lot of people, and so you kind of open the door to the back of the room and sneak into the room kind of quietly, and as soon as you open that door and you step into the room, you can get a real sense of what's going on in that room. Like everyone might be smiling, but you feel the tension, like something is up. And it's not because you've heard anything or you've seen anything, but you feel that, right? Another example is if you have family members and friends, you can be sitting in a room in your home, and someone can walk into the room, and without turning around, you know who it is because you sense them. Your husband has this feeling, your daughter has that feeling, and you can sense that. So those are just two examples, common examples of energy.
I kind of segment energy in at least, human energy into three fields. I the spiritual, which is, our auras and our chakras, and the physical energy, our organs and all that in our cellular levels, and mental energy, which I feel is connected to our brain and but all that together is just like one big energy chunk.
Yeah.
No, and regardless whether you are walking the spiritual path or not, whether you believe in metaphysical or esoteric topics or not, you are energy, and you are exposed to the energy of the people and the environment and everything that's around you. So yes, you are affected, and you don't have to believe in energy. You are energy, and energy is all around you. Yeah, even if you're the most skeptical and you're like, oh my God, our chakras, what are they? It doesn't matter. You have them. There's
right.
No way for you to get away from them. You have them.
Yes.
So
yes,
I want to ask you something about people. Like some people in this world, they come and they experience life and they have no awakening. They just have a routine. They are born. They follow society. They never had that I am who I am moment. They just
right.
go blindly through life, and they have no empathy. They have no connection to energy. They don't have that awareness of themselves. Versus other people who are very sensitive to energy, like myself. Like I can feel energy. I can feel the energy of a city. I can sense other people because I'm more open to my intuitive gift. What is the difference between that person and someone like myself? Like what happened energetically there?
Right. So there's all kinds of things that could be that. It could be that they chose, because I believe before we incarnate on this planet that we choose what our experiences are going to be to a degree. We kind of
okay.
we know a little bit about why we're coming here and what our purpose in this particular incarnation is going to be. So part of it could be their choice and what they wanted to experience in this particular lifetime. I also think when I look at those types of contrasts, someone who's spiritually very in tune and someone who is very much not in tune to anything, I think of it in terms of frequency. I think of it in terms of frequency. So if you think about an AM/FM radio, and you're turning that dial to 89.9 or to 950 AM, you're tuning in, and each one of those things is a frequency. So in this case, your frequency is at a very different place than that person's frequency. And I don't think of it in terms of good or bad. I just think of it in terms of different frequencies. On a musical scale, is high A any better or worse than middle C? Well, no, they're just different frequencies.
No,
right?
That makes sense. So it's all about our inner antenna, kind of.
Exactly. Yes, yes.
And that antenna is our intuition, right?
Yes. I teach. So my teacher, Sonia Choquette, she teaches that your body actually is an antenna. And it's just so interesting when you go into the science of that. It's just super interesting to study it that way. But our bodies are designed to be antennas. And our six senses, the way we perceive things, or 7 or 8 or 9 senses, wherever you're at, right? And the way we perceive things are tuning that antenna. And that's why the more clear your body can be and the better you take care of your body, the better antenna you're going to be. And a big part of intuition and developing your intuition is learning how to kind of polish your antenna, so to speak, from an energetic perspective.
So I guess that that's how energy relates to intuition in a way?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, because your intuition is receiving that guidance from your higher self or source, whatever your belief system is. And the clearer your channel is, or the clearer your antenna is in this analogy, the easier it is to receive that guidance and receive those very subtle promptings that we get, and also to become more aware of the synchronicities that happen around us all the time that are also helping to guide us. And so, that energy and intuition are absolutely integrated.
Okay, and I don't know if this is related, but in a way it kind of came to mind when it says that likes attract likes. That has to do with the energy and the vibration as well, and the level of awareness of kindreds. Does that make
Absolutely.
sense?
It does make sense.
Okay.
And it is. Like frequency is going to attract like frequency. And, I'll give another analogy. As you can tell, I love analogies or metaphors. So if you ever had two small magnets, the little magnets you can get, and you try to put them together one way, they repel each other. But if you flip the one around, now they'll attract each other because they're on the same frequency. So when they're not on the same frequency, they literally repel each other. But when they're on the same frequency, they attract. And so our energy works exactly the same way. And that's why if you've got people in your life that have a lot of drama, they usually attract other people that have a lot of drama, right?
Exactly. Even when you're doing your own spiritual work and you're doing you're going through your spiritual path and growth, a few people or situations or environments, they just fall off your life because they're no longer resonating with a new you. And that's something like, for example, in Reiki training, that's one of the things that a Reiki level 1 practitioner experience when they start doing the energy work, is that as they shift their energy, everything around them will shift. Not necessarily in a good way. It could be a little dramatic and a little painful at the beginning because of our resistance to evolve and to let go and to be open to changes, But that is a good way to connect and understand energy as we evolve. So how does awareness of energy and intuition can help someone in their day-to-day life, regardless if they're walking the spiritual path or not?
Right. So by having an awareness of energy, and I always like to ask the question, if you think about the room you're sitting in right now, when you walked into that room, did you stop and take a gauge on the energy? Did it even cross your mind? And for most people, the answer is going to be no, right? You walk into your office, you walk into your classroom, your friend's house, like whatever it is. When you have an awareness of energy, after a while, it becomes just second nature, and you instantly take a read on that energy. And by doing that, it enables you to better interact in that environment. I was in corporate America forever. I was an IT program manager for Fortune 20 companies. And a lot of the meetings that I ran were very high velocity, very tense kind of meetings. Oh, my God. And so what I learned, once I learned how to work with this energy and better just kind of navigate it, is I literally, before the meeting, I would find a quiet place and I would set the energy of that room. I would set the intention and set the energy of that room. And I'd clear out any negative energy. I'd bring in the positive. I'd invite in Archangel Gabriel. She's the Archangel of Communication. And I would totally create the energy of that room before anyone ever showed up. And it completely changed the tone of how my meetings went. And anyone that worked with me would say, like, something about Kenya's meetings are always different. And, of course, they had no idea I was doing that. That's just a very real-world way. Another thing, too, that's super important is, as we go through our day-to-day lives, like, different things come up. Your daughter calls and has a question, or a friend calls and they're going through something that's difficult, or you need to make some important financial or contractual decisions. If your energy is down, and you're just not in alignment and you're not energetically in a good place, you're not coming from your best self to make those decisions or to support and help other people. Whereas if you learn how to align your energy and keep yourself, and even if you fall off, because none of us are perfect all the time, right? So there's going to be times where you're not in alignment. But you learn the tools and skills on how to bring yourself back into alignment, so that as you're moving through your day and navigating your day, you're making decisions from your highest self in every situation, or most of the time. And that's it. Life becomes magical when you do that, because things just start to fall into place. You don't have near as many issues. Things just become simpler. In regards to energy, do you think that women are different energy conduits than men? I think women seem to be more naturally intuitive, and probably for a lot of reasons. Our culture, how we're raised, even like how our brains are formed, and all sorts of things. So I think all of those dynamics play into women being more intuitive. and so therefore being more aware of energy, more sensitive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think.
No, and the fact that we multitask so much, because we're the nurturers, we're the moms, we're the wives, we're taking care of the home and the business, and it's a lot of energy and time demand from us. It's a natural, I guess, reaction for women, I guess, or for me. I guess I'm personalizing this question. You always place yourself last. It's like there's always something a priority, and that
Right.
putting more weight into your energy field in a way, because
Absolutely.
you're like prioritizing. Yeah, you're prioritizing others' demand of your time and energy. And how can we protect ourselves? How can we protect our energy? Because I understand the concept of doing, a lot of mindfulness, and you can meditate, you can do yoga, you can exercise, you can eat well, and all that helps you build a strong core, But despite all that work, you get out of your house, you get inside that car, and you're in traffic, and you're exposed to every single element out there. People
Right.
with, messed up moods and energy, situations, environments, or maybe you walk into that room that they just had an argument. I mean, how would you protect yourself?
Yeah, so I really encourage, and I teach a class called Energy Matters, and I'm working on getting an online course for that because it's been so highly requested. And in that class, one of the things I teach is it's so important when you start your day, so first thing in the morning, and if that means you have to lock yourself in the bathroom or do it in the shower, whatever, because I know if you've got a household of pets or children or whatever, it's really hard to get that quiet time in the morning. But 3 to 5 minutes of quiet time in the morning, and I'll quickly walk through the exercise here, but can totally change the tone of your entire day, because you're setting yourself up to be grounded and centered and protect your energy before you even start interacting with other people. And the short version of this exercise is, of course, you always start by standing level-footed, wiggle your toes, get really grounded, picture that center core going down into Mother Earth, feeling grounded and supported. And then just take a deep inhale, slow, long inhale. Bring your arms up to the top of your head. And as you exhale, picture a sphere completely surrounding you. So all four sides, top and bottom. And I work a lot with Archangel Michael. He's a great protector. So in my belief system, I ask Archangel Michael to surround and protect me with his energy. And then I ask him to release anything that's not for my highest good. So cutting cords, contracts, any energy that's not in my highest good, just release that. And one thing to understand about how the universe works is anytime you move energy out of a space, the law of physics, just something else is going to fill that space. So it's really important when you're working with energy, if you remove it, like we just did with our sphere, take what's not serving us out, you want to choose what to fill that up with, right? Not someone else. So you ask Archangel Michael to release, and then I ask, in my case, Archangel Raphael, to fill this sphere with light and love and healing. And so I'm picturing myself in this beautiful sphere all day long, just continually being ministered and nurtured by Archangel Raphael's healing light. And wherever I am throughout my day, if I find myself kind of dropping or getting off center, I just, in my mind, go back to remembering doing that in the morning, and that really helps me. When I was in the really toxic corporate environment, I would do that throughout the day. I would go into the handicapped bathroom stall in my corporate office and repeat that and do that again, or just sit at my desk and visualize it, because sometimes the days were so toxic that by 10 o'clock I was like drained again. So I would have to just, keep doing that exercise. And then the other thing is, after you protect your energy and you ground yourself, do your I am statement. So stand firm, stand strong, and pick your word for the day. I am smart. I am beautiful. I am a healer. Whatever your word is, and take one step forward and step into and ground that and say it like you mean it. I am healer. And so it takes about a minute to do the sphere energy healing, another 15 seconds to do the I am statement. In less than 2 minutes, you've set yourself up for the entire day to be in a very different track than if you don't do that.
I think mindfulness is the key. And in my experience, the more grounded and the more vibrant and positive your energy is, the more the more you're going to attract the drain, the people, because subconsciously, there's such thing as an energy vampire. Whether they know it or not, they are attracted to you because you have that shiny light. You're so vibrant and you're so grounded, and you got it all together. That is the recipe to start attracting. So not only do you have to do the work to build your own energy, but you have to be able to either, I don't know if there's a way to filter their energy or just to block the energy altogether, but you will attract these people. You will attract folks that will be attracted to your energy because you're just shining this beautiful light. And it might be really draining. By the end of the day, you could be exhausted. You could be you don't even know why you feel so tired, or early in the morning you were so happy and excited. By the end of the day, you're like, just dragging yourself through the day. And little tips like that, it helps you to continue a balanced day. It does help you.
It really does. Well, so the thing about the sphere is, just like our analogy of the magnets earlier, when you put that sphere up, it repels that energy vampire frequency. So you get far less of that. If you do this exercise every day, so you're really building this protection, it's amazing. You'll get so much less of that. It'll blow your mind. You'll see the difference. Setting boundaries. And most of us in the metaphysical world are not very good at setting clear boundaries with people.
Yes, I'm guilty.
Right? Right, guilty, yes.
Yeah, guilty.
But those two things will really change those energy vampires. So you'll have far less of those in your life.
Well, I think that as you grow into your own energy work, you figure out ways to kind of like manage your energy and filter other people through work or through life. Like in my particular case, I usually, when people, before they contact me, they have to fill a form, and I listen to their voice messages, and I intuitively decide whether I want to make that connection or not. And it didn't happen overnight. This is like 10 years of work because, as you say, when we are into spirituality and we're healers or teachers, we have this compelling need to help. And usually the people that we want to help are the ones that need us the most, and they will be really, really draining of your time and your energy and your abilities because they have this need. But we cannot help anyone if we are drained and exhausted and sick, and so we have to learn a way to protect our energy because, as you say, energy matters. If you have no energy, it's like you have no life force to take on life, period, Is there any particular tools that you recommend for energy protection, like, saging or crystals or candles? Like, what is your to-go tool?
Yeah, and all those modalities are wonderful, so I would definitely say use your intuition and work with the modalities that work best for you. Over the years, I've used different ones, so that exercise I just shared I use a lot. Another one that people kind of forget about is the best way to repel negative energy is to be happy, and the fastest way to get happy is to sing a happy song. So I'll put on the Disney station.
Oh my God!
I've got a playlist, and I will sing to the top of my lungs in my car. I dance around my house all the time. My kids used to make fun of me when they were little. And if I find myself in a funk, I will go turn on that playlist, and you won't want to. If you're feeling funky, the last thing you want to do is sing a happy song. But if you make yourself do it, like, it instantly puts you in that place of gratitude and joy, which instantly repels that negative energy. So it's a really fun and fast way, and it's a great thing to teach your kids. In fact, they're going to be better at it than you are, probably. So that's a really good tool. I use crystals for everything. I love crystals. I love working with them. And I definitely use crystals to transmute energy, to kind of as a reminder, as a touchstone for me, for intentions that I've set, things like that. So I definitely love crystals as well. How about you? What's the tool that you like to use?
I like crystals. I'm very into crystals. The thing that happens to me is I get ungrounded easily. So, like, the more in tune that I am with my energy, the less present I feel in the world. Yeah. It's like I live in my own. I feel like I live in my own la la land, and
Yes.
people around me they sort of notice it. They're like, "Oh my God, this is not from this world." But it's just it's the way I kind of like cultivate my energy, and I like candles too, just for like burning negativity. I like white candles. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us in regards to energy that's really, really important and it will be like critical for us to take in our hearts regarding energy?
Maybe a couple things. So one thing that came to mind when you were given the example that we've all experienced, where when you're as healers and we're wanting to help people, and it seems like the ones that are in need can sometimes be the most draining. And my guides came through really clear, so I just want to share this, is that it's really important that as a healer, when you're going to help someone, to make sure that they're committed too, because you can't do the work for them. And I think the ones that are most draining on us are the ones that they want higher vibration and they want law of attraction and whatever, but they don't really want to do the work. They want you to do it all for them, right? I give readings all the time with all kinds of great guidance for people, but then they never do it. So I think just something to think about, right? Because tons of people need our help. The world is full of people that need our help. So choosing clients to work with that are in alignment with us and in alignment with resonating with our work and showing up every day and doing their best to implement the things that we're teaching, that is a much better experience than working with someone that's draining. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. So
No. Thank you. That's very, very important. We have many holistic practitioners and healers that are part of our community, and healers. We need healers, just as coaches need coaches, and any advice that we can provide to healers is very, very important. I think that because of their resistance, that's the energy that's draining. Is their inner resistance to whatever they want to change, but there's something within themselves that's resistant. That's the draining, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well put.
Exactly. So how can we get in touch with you, Kenya, if someone wants to learn more about energy or maybe experience your class or just, get to know you in person or by phone? How can we find you?
So the easiest place to find me, all my information is on my website, which is www.kenyastar.global. My classes and events are listed there, the expos where I'm teaching. I do a variety of different kinds of intuitive readings, angel card readings, energy healing sessions. Sometimes people just have one quick question, something specific they're wanting a little guidance on, so I do an email reading, one-question email reading for that. I'll be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin this weekend, and then I'll be in Springfield, Illinois the weekend of November 3rd and 4th. Giving readings and teaching at those expos. But anything pretty much that you'd want to know, I've got an Instagram and Facebook and YouTube where I post content all the time, but you can get to all of that stuff from my website.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Kenya.
And thank you for listening and connecting with us today. You can download and share this interview with friends and loved ones by visiting our audio library at www.holisticglobemag.com or via our mobile app, which is Android and iPhone friendly. We appreciate your feedback and participation. Please feel welcome to email me your questions, any comments about this or any other episode, and any topic suggestions that you would like to hear more about. You are invited to attend any Holistic Globe Expo event, grab a free copy of our magazine, and enjoy the free educational platform featuring dozens of experts and hundreds of exhibitors nationwide. You can always request a copy of our latest magazine issue to be mailed to your home or office, or you can subscribe for ongoing delivery. You are also invited to visit our Holistic School and Metaphysical Center in Santa Fe, New Mexico. You can attend live classes, participate in any of our free support groups, or schedule a healing session, or participate in one of our individual or group retreats. For more information about upcoming classes, to download our school catalog, visit www.santafemeta.com. That is Santa Fe, Santafe, and Meta is METHA.com, santafemeta.com. And last but not least, if you are or represent a holistic, spiritual, green, sustainable brand or service, or perhaps you are a health and wellness expert and you are interested in advertising in our magazine or become part of our next Holistic Globe radio podcast or simply joining our expo, please visit our website at www.holisticglobemag.com to request information and to access our media kit. Again, thank you for listening, and until next time, namaste.